Miss Jones here, and today I'm going to show you how to solve a geometry-related physics problem. First, we'll put the problem up so you can read it. So with all of these problems, I'm going to always encourage you to draw a picture. Now I'm going to use a ruler for my picture so that it's nice for y'all, but it's definitely not necessary to use a ruler when you're sketching. So first thing I'm going to draw is the height of the building. I know it's 150 meters. And I know we have a tree over here. Let's put our little tree here. Doop, 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 doop. All right, so from the bottom of the building, I'm going to sketch the ground here. It's at an angle of, here's the top of the tree, let's say, an angle of 22 degrees. And if you're standing on top of the building and looking down, it's an angle of 40 degrees. Now it says an angle of depression. That's going to be measured with respect to the horizontal, so that this angle here is 40 degrees. So I've just sketched this out based on the problem. It's not to scale. Of course, you can see that these are not actual angle measures. I'm just labeling them here. So now we have to figure out how we are going to solve for the height of the tree, and usually this is going to involve right triangle geometry. So I can already see that I have a right triangle here on the bottom, and I have another right triangle here on the top. And what we're interested in is first the height of the tree, so I'm going to call that H. And then we're also interested in how far from the building is the tree, so I'm going to call that X. No reason why I called that H or X. You can call them whatever you want. Alright, so we're going to have to find a way to figure out this tree. So it looks like we've got these two triangles. We know this big distance, so this distance over here is going to be 150 as well. That means this side is going to be 150 minus H. I hope you can see where I got that from. This whole thing's 150, so this piece will be 150 minus H. This side up here will also be X. So it looks like I have two variables. I'm going to need to find a way to get these two variables into an equation together. Looking at the right triangles, I have the adjacent and the opposite sides of both. Adjacent and opposite. So I'm going to use the tangent function. So here's an equation for the top triangle. Tangent of 40 equals opposite, 150 minus H, over adjacent, X. And for the bottom triangle, we have tangent of 22 equals opposite, which is H, over X. Alright, so that's the geometry portion. Now we have to get into the algebra. What I want to do is solve each of these for X and then set them equal to each other. So I'll go ahead and do that up here. If we multiply both sides by X and divide by tangent, you get X equals 150 minus H over tangent 40. And here we get X equals H over tangent 22. So now we can set both of these equations equal to each other and solve for H, which is a little tricky. I'm going to get a new piece of paper to show you how to do that. Okay, time for the fun algebra. We have 150 minus H over tangent 40 equals H over tangent 22. First thing I'm going to want to do is cross multiply, I think, to get rid of these fractions. So we have tangent 22 times 150 minus h, don't forget that that stays in parentheses, equals h times tangent 40. Now remember, these tangent 40 and tangent 22, they're just numbers. Okay, we can plug them in the calculator. I'm going to wait until the end to do that. Next thing is to distribute this tangent 22. So we have 150 tangent 22, which is just a number, minus h times tangent 22 equals h times tangent 40. Now we're going to want to get all the h's on one side, so I'm going to move that over. Tangent 150 tangent 22 equals h times tangent 40 minus h times tangent 22. Then I'm going to factor out an h. So that now we can divide by tangent 40 minus tangent 22. So we end up with 150 tangent 22 over tangent 40 minus tangent 22 equals h. And at this point, I'm going to grab my calculator. Grab my calculator and type this in correctly. So 150 times tangent 22 divided by, we want to put this in parentheses because it's subtraction, tangent 40 minus tangent 22, and that gives us 139.3. I'm going to write that down, 139.3 meters. And now all we have to do is go back to one of our original equations and solve for x. So if we look back here, this one here on the bottom looks like the easiest one. So I'm just going to bring that down here. X equals h over tangent 22, and that equals 139.3 over tangent 22. Got that whole number in my calculator already, so I might as well just use it. And I get x equals 344.8 meters.